Have you heard of analog horror? You might not, but you might have just seen a viral image that you didn't know was part of an analog horror. If you've heard of the genre, maybe you'll think of this.
Scout, where are you? Doc, help me in that tool fort, and that heapstin is looking for me.
I'm on my way.
Hang on!
What do you mean?
Easy.
But if one of these is your only reference, you might be surprised to learn that analog horror is so much more. In fact, there are so many movies that fall under the subgenre of analog horror, yet many people wouldn't recognize them as it. Before we talk about why analog horror is fantastic and excels more at inflicting fear than regular run-of-the-mill horror, let's explain the question of what is analog horror? By definition, analog horror is a subgenre of horror media that utilize the aesthetic of old analog technology, like VHS tapes and grainy video footage. After hearing this definition, you probably understand now how this subgenre is owned by many more than your stereotypical popular analog horror series. From Wikipedia, we can read a few characteristics, such as no or low amounts of traditional jump scares, often set in the late 20th century time period, 1960s to 1990s, including a VHS tape of some kind. Interestingly enough, this segues into our next heading of how analog horror, movies, and internet series differ. Since the beginning, you might have been wondering, why do analog horror movies like Sinister in the Ring feel so different from internet series like the infamous FNAF VHS tapes or the Mandela Catalogue? The key difference lies in perspective. While both rely on the eerie presence of VHS tapes, films like Sinister in the Ring place the horror within the world of their characters. They are the ones discovering and experiencing the terror hidden in these recordings. In contrast, internet analog horror often blurs the line between fiction and reality. Rather than watching a character react to the horror, we the audience take on that role ourselves. The tapes aren't just something characters within a story uncover, they're presented as if they exist in our world, waiting to be found, analyzed, and feared. This makes internet analog horror feel more immersive, sometimes even unsettlingly real, as if we've stumbled upon something we were never meant to see. Practically though, a large reason of internet series analog horror forcing us to be the stand-ins for the characters watching the VHS tapes is that it's simply just cheap. With us almost being part of the cast, in air quotes, the creator doesn't need to be good at acting, nor do they have to buy other actors. Naturally, this brings us on to our next point. Today I brought an analog horror expert, Thardus, to assist me in this documentary. First question. Why do you like analog horror, and what attracts you to this specific subgenre?
Why I like it? Well, I like analog horror for its scenery, its suspense, its atmosphere, the ambience, basically, right? The ambience, however you want to say it. Um, it's very nice. It's very nice to me. Being in suspense, hearing the eerie noises that you experience, in most of them, it's very it grabs my attention. There's many that there's many that I've watched. The most memorable ones are The Backrooms, Mandela Catalog, I think the Boiled one as well, and Vita Carnes. Vita Carnes was one of my favorites, though. I won't lie. Just how weird and it feels like it can become reality. It feels like it can become reality at some point in time, but that's that's a good thing. It's fiction, right? I keep coming back to these analog horrors though. I don't, but it's just it grabs my attention. It's like they know something I don't. It's very interesting actually. I really like it though. So, I'm not complaining. There's so many things that can happen, go wrong in the videos, and maybe that's why. Maybe it's because I want I want to know the story, you know? It is pretty nostalgic though. Like the cameras, like the analog or camera like esque thing. I feel like that's nostalgic for me at least because I'm a bit old. But it's just it's very nostalgic. Also the fact that they don't need to have jump scares like as much as one would, you know, like regular horror video. It's, it's very strange because they leave you in so much suspense that you think that there's gonna be a jump scare or something popping out, which but the fact that they make you think or they make you feel that way is phenomenal. Because if they can make you perceive, you know, these things like, oh, there's something about to jump out, but it doesn't, it makes you they really toy with your mind is what I'm trying to say. Realistically, that's all I'm trying to say. And yeah, I like them.
Question 2. What is your favorite analog horror and why?
My favorite was Vita Carnus, and why is because, well, you can say this about almost any, you know, analog horror, but the attention to detail in certain scenes or certain videos, you know, like I think it was How to Cook the Crawl. Um, they have like a powder that you can put on the like food to make it taste better, and it's the logo is of like the secret cult organization that is, you know, kind of into the whole let's take over the world with these, you know, creatures or whatever these things are. And yeah, you can say that about almost any other what's it called you can say that about almost any other analog horror when it comes to like attention to detail. You know, some of them have great, great, you know, like backstories or even like things that you can connect to other videos or other timelines and stuff like that. And it's very wonderful, actually. All right. Bye. Have a great day.
Thank you for tuning in to this documentary. Unfortunately, this is all the time I have to speak about this subject. And yeah, have a great day.